All right, here we are with the TCL QM8K. We're going to go ahead and power it on for the first time, but I'm going to tell you guys point blank period. This probably, if it goes good, will be the TV I end up recommending for most people. Just for the fact that this is the most elegant, most beautiful TV I have unboxed in a very, very, very long time. Hear what I say. Yeah, sure. There are some elements like the stand that's made of plastic, but they make it look nice. But the rest of the experience, I mean, the remote this year is like a metal material. Feels really good in the hand to hold. It's got a beautiful backlight. I mean, it's got a nice chrome trim around the bezel of the remote. I mean, the TV itself is a work of art. So yeah, you buy this TV, you're getting a good set, at least as far as quality goes. Now I'm going to try to focus this so we can see what the hell is going on here. And let's begin. So as typical with Google TVs, we're going to start off and it's going to be the welcome page. We're going to hit enter for the United States. It's going to say, are you in the United States? I'm going to say yes. The United States is my region. Now it's going to ask you if you want to do the Google TV basic setup or just set it up with Google TV. I'm going to do the basic setup. Now I went ahead and skipped Wi-Fi. And it brings us over now to this page, the forced Google terms of service in every Google TV from Sony to now TCL. Unfortunate, not my favorite thing. There isn't a next button. There's no way out of it. You must hit select. So if you don't like that, box it up, take it back to the store. It's unfortunate that we live in these times, but you know, manufacturers, what are you going to do? Okay, so now they want me to select a freaking, what is this called? Time zone. So we're going to just select my time zone. You select yours. We're going to click next, privacy terms and all that shit. Just select all and click agree. And then automatic updates. I'm so good on that. Not now. And then we're going to do next on Apple products. I don't mess with any of that stuff. And now we're going to go ahead and click the store demo. This isn't going to destroy the television or break it or anything like that. So don't freak out. We can always turn this off later. And the point of doing the store demo is so that we can actually see what the hell this TV has got in store for us. And again, that's really the point. So the store demo will be playing in 6 seconds, give or take. Now I need to go ahead and adjust my camera here though, because I was moving all this stuff around, but I didn't end up putting the camera back, so it does not know what to focus on. So I'm just gonna move it over here just so it can see the screen of the television somewhat, so at least we get some kind of picture quality. All right, and we're off. And so far as I look at it, very bright. Immediately one of the first things I notice is how bright it is. I actually have to turn down my camera brightness. This shit is really, really bright. Jeez. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and click off the lights actually, so you guys can probably see. I like the lights on though. I think they're pretty dope though. I want you guys to see what it's all about. I mean, I think you guys can see too. So far what I see great sharpness and clarity. I see good black levels. I don't really see any issues with the black levels on this demo content. Of course, we're gonna go a little bit deeper than that. I mean, clarity, pretty on point, right? Doesn't look that bad. We're gonna go ahead and lower down those speakers. By the way, those speakers are absolutely thumping. That shit was actually pretty good. So I have maybe hope that they've improved the speakers from last year, which was shit. I mean, so far I'm loving this TV already. And it didn't take me long. I pulled it out of the box. I'm looking at the HDR content. I'm looking at the clarity. I'm looking at the baseline potential, and it's definitely there for sure. Now, of course, we're going to have to take it out of this demo mode after the demo is done, after we're done giving you an idea of what it can and cannot do. But I'm going to say this right now. This shit is fucking impressive. Like, really impressive so far. So far, we're not going to go crazy, right? But it was impressive. Okay, so now that we've got that baseline understanding of what the picture quality will and will not provide, now let's go a step further, because there's always a further step that we need to go. Now we're going to see it with actual content. All right, so I'm going to get it up on the screen. Now let's look at the TV with some actual content on the screen. Obviously, this mode is way too blue. We're in standard right now, by the way. We're going to go to vivid. Vivid is very, 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 very bright, and it's still going. Holy shit, it's still going. That's very bright. That ramp was serious. So yeah, that's going to be crazy. There's an intelligent mode. It's pretty green. Obviously, PC mode is always really ugly. Same as game mode, the same kind of color. Movie mode, same kind of thing, very ugly and very yellowish. Filmmaker mode, again, very ugly. Sports has good contrast, but very pink. And then we're back to standard. So now we open up our settings. And now this is where we're going to go into our picture options. And we're just going to explore what they have to offer this year, okay? So first, the brightness tab. Is there anything new outside of contrast, black levels, gamma? Well, they have the automatic HDR conversion. I toggle that on and it gets really bright. Like, it just starts ramping up like freaking crazy, which I don't know if it's a bad thing that it does that, but we'll see how it, I mean, again, when we're actually in content, what that actually does. Now, we're also going to look at the automatically adjust the contrast, the dynamic contrast thing. I usually like to turn that off, but that actually seems to have done something for the picture. Adaptive just opens up shadow detail like a ton. High is just not where it is, so I think they were correct that low is probably where you want to stay for their dynamic contrast. Their black stretch feature definitely works on this particular set. It instantly makes things darker, so potentially you could use something like high contrast and then turn on black stretch to get some of those black levels back from opening up the shadow detail. I already see like some way we can get more picture quality out of this with just a couple of clicks, which is always a good sign. Now, as crazy as it can be, if you would believe this, you know that crazy brightness ramp we had just now? Like if I turn this down, how it's gonna start dimming down a bit. Right? Which I don't mind because that's where detail lives and detail starts returning. But the beautiful thing is down here, you have a peak brightness and then you can actually ramp it up even brighter. And that for me is really dope. So again, this TV definitely has fucking potential. Like micro contrast on low, micro contrast on high. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, this TV is impressing the shit out of me, and I'm like going through the out of the box settings, and that rarely happens for me, like literally ever. We're gonna turn off eco mode, because fuck eco mode, and look how bright this shit gets. Like, look at that. It's teeing off, and it is just so damn bright. And if you don't like that, I mean, you could always do a couple of different things, but it could even get even brighter when you use HDR conversion. So it's like, this TV has hella room to get bright. I don't doubt that they are well within the nits that they've advertised. Not a doubt at all, just off of how bright that just was. Now, if you don't like bright, you can always turn off peak luminance, which I do like that. Much like OLED, they do have like a way of controlling that luminance for you. But I mean, it probably is going to be better off just left to standard, local contrast set to low kind of thing, the default value, at least out of the gate before we start seeing everything. Under color, they have dynamic color. And I think this is a really good feature because it immediately corrects some of the errors that by itself, by default, like it's really blue and then you turn it on. And yeah, it might get a little bit more towards the greenish hue, but you could fix that. And I like that it has that. Automatically enhance the color of the picture and is doing a really good job. Now they have something called adaptive color temperature based on ambient light, which I think is really interesting because again, changing the again, color temperature and the dynamics of your picture based on what's in your room is pretty cool. And it's a lot like that really nice feature that Sony had, if you remember. So the fact that they're giving features that Sony has, like an adaptive color temperature control, they are already way beyond anything Samsung has done and LG has done. They are offering Sony level offerings, and that's really, really huge. As far as your warm tones, you can go up to a warm tone of 5. That already, in my personal opinion, looks pretty good. I do prefer a warmer picture. And because this, I mean, it feels really balanced out of the box. I'm not going to lie. Like, I just whipped it into like warm, I say warm 1 for most people. For me, warm 5 because I really like it. With some tweaks and adjustments, I know I can get that to look really, really good. And again, this is just all out of the box. And then, of course, you can adjust the on-the-fly color temperature if you want. I don't really want to do that. I really do think this TV has hella potential, though. Like, more than the others that I've reviewed. And if that's too warm, by the way, warm 5, by disabling dynamic color, you could chill off the color temperature almost immediately, which, again, they're giving you something that is very rare, which is versatility, and I really appreciate that. Unfortunately, your color spaces are native, or native and custom. That's kind of all you get. Same bullshit as usual. You don't have BT 2020. It's just native, auto, or custom. So that part, very, very, very weak. Not my favorite thing. Under clarity, let's see what we've got. We have sharpness, we have noise reduction features the same as always. We have the smooth gradation features as always, so that's always good. Motion clarity options, we can set it to high, medium, or low. Not entirely sure what that does since it doesn't give you, yeah, it does. So you have a custom option as well where you can max out basically the soap opera effect. And we'll see how viable that is since I'll leave it at max. LED clear motion. This is seemingly flickerless, so I actually do like that. Of course, this feature always gives way more contrast out of the gate, just out of the gate immediately by turning this on. And you could see just with these little minuscule clicks that I've done, not even taking this seriously, I've already gotten to a really decent picture. This is mostly out of the box, so I'm almost fairly 100% positive when I get to this TV, this is going to be like one of the best TVs, I think, maybe even a champion of champions based off of what I've seen so far. And that's not laying it on thick at all. So let's see what some of this content looks like. I could tell you, I'm not going to lie, I'm already pretty impressed because it's doing a lot right. Now, obviously there are some really bad errors as far as like the color being overly bright. We have a lot to fix as far as contrast. That is definitely a weak point. Not like the what is it? The S95F. It's not that bad at all. But it falls a little flat. But I already see enough of the bones there that when I get to this fucking thing and I start cooking, it's over. It's going to be over with. I could see it right now. And it's rare I can see it this early into like just taking a TV out of the box and seeing like what's up. Like this is definitely a premium high-end TV. The only thing I think will be a really big question is, can I defeat how typically blue or overly green the TVs are? That's going to be my big question as I go into the review process. But as far as like initial impressions out of the box, just seeing what it's all about, no, I think this definitely is something that you're going to want to take a look at because this is hitting hard. Very, very, very hard. And it's very impressive. I mean, the level of detail is definitely on par with what I've seen out of Sony TVs for sure. So the age of saying TCL processing is entry level is bullshit. As far as the colors go, I'm seeing good color. I'm seeing blue probably being a little bit of a problem color that needs some work for sure. Red looks okay, but again, we really don't know the extent of how good this TV can be without actually running it through its paces. Now, out of the box, one thing I do notice that I think is really good is that your black levels are very buttoned up. I mean, very buttoned up. Now, I've experienced this with last year's 8 series, the QM8, and I didn't expect anything less this year. And I don't see any bloom. I don't see any halo. And that is very different from the experience I had with Hisense, where Hisense was very, well, in lack for a better term, bloomy. Had a lot of halos. I mean a lot of halos. And just so you guys can see some stuff in motion, we'll go ahead and do this and show you it out of the box just so you can see again. And this is with just a couple of tinker clicks. This isn't like an optimized setting that I would normally do. To give you an idea of the immense picture quality coming out of this with just a handful of clicks, proving that if you put just a little effort and you're not lazy like other YouTubers out there and you pull it out of the box and do nothing to it, this TV can give you even more picture quality. And the headroom is fucking ridiculous. Like, I'm excited to get in here and calibrate ASAP and then come back on here and do a comparison against the S95F, which is literally sitting right next to it. I can't wait to see how these two square off at all. And that is definitely coming. But at least for right now, I wanted to give you guys some demo content, show you just a little bit of out of the box with light tinkering, because this is not optimized at all. But I'd say so far, just with that, let's say like you don't know anything about TVs, you're just tinkering around, you can get some fucking pretty impressive results already straight away, no real effort. And for me, that's huge, because a TV that can bridge the gap between beginners and professionals and still allow the, everyday person to get good picture quality within a couple of clicks is pretty good. And while this isn't going to drop anyone's jaw per se that is seen in OLED or QD OLED, at least right now, I think it's doing a lot of the stuff it needs to do right. And for me especially, it's very hard to do, but they definitely are impressive so far. So that being said, we're going to go and run it through its paces. You guys already know the usual stuff that we do. Let me know what you guys want to see on this thing so I can deliver. Remember what these images look like, how cold and blue and not at all great is going to look like, and let's see if I can't make a miracle happen. I think if I could do it on the S95F, this TV definitely has a shit ton of potential, but let's see. Thanks so much for watching the #1 brand in honesty. Guys, I really do feel like we found a champion here. I really, really do. And I'm so glad to be able to say that with just an unboxing video, not even actually trying. So I can't wait to see what it looks like when I actually try. Stay tuned until the next video if you want to see that. Subscribe for more content like this. And until the next video, I'll see you guys later.